Hey everyone, thanks for joining us. I'm Mike Bilodeau, Executive Director of Plastic Oceans Europe, and I'm here with Regi Domingo, founder of the Nakawe Project and Director of Nakawe Experiences. Hey Regi, how you doing?
Hello, I'm fine. How are you?
Good, good. Thanks a lot for joining us today. So you're in Baja, Mexico, is that right?
Yes. I'm in Baja California Sur in Mexico. This is a peninsula that it's surrounded by the Pacific Ocean and the Sea of Cortez. An amazing, beautiful place to interact with pelagic species.
Awesome. What sorts of pelagic species do you see there mainly?
So basically in this area, there's a lot of highly migratory species, such as different type of sharks. The most common sharks we see in the area in different seasons, it's makos, blue sharks, silky sharks, two different type of hammerheads, smooth hammerheads, common hammerheads. We also have a little bit more north in Baja, the great white in Isla Guadalupe, and they also enter to the Sea of Cortez at some point, most of the females, to have their pups. And we have a lot of different type of whales. This is one of the places on earth where you can see more mammals. We have humpback whales, gray whales, fin whales, blue whales, Brad's whales, different type of dolphins, sea lions, sea turtles, movulas of different species like Movula munkiana, virostris, the big, huge ones. We have a lot of different type of birds. We have also land mammals like coyotes. And I mean, I can continue like this 2 hours because this is still a place that it's alive and it has a lot of biodiversity and biomass. And this is the reason we are here.
Amazing. Sounds like you're in paradise.
It is.
All right. So tell us a little bit about your connection with the ocean.
Well, so I can say that, of course, I wasn't born like really connected with the ocean only. I was born in Barcelona. I was born in a place that is called Mataró. But my father educated me in a way that I believe it's the result of what I am today. I grew up traveling a lot with him. He's a musher. He runs with the sled dogs, and I used to have a lot of wolves. We used to have a lot of wolves when I was a kid. So I believe that that was my entrance to nature in a way. But he's also a free diver and a diver, and of course I've been in the ocean since very very little. But I can say that the moment that I connected with the ocean the most was back in 2012 when I decided to go to Cocos Island in Costa Rica as a volunteer to try to understand what was going on with sharks and with shark fishing and illegal fishing and finning and all these topics. And it was in that moment and in that place. In fact, I call this island my mother island because it just made me appear and be and exist in a different perspective and in a different way. And the feelings that this place gave me were the most beautiful ones, but also the most like painful ones. Cocos Island and the threats that this watertight site were facing at that moment made me realize that I wanted to devote my life to the protection and conservation for our oceans. I wasn't the most, knowledgeable person, but I wanted to learn more and I wanted to find solutions and I wanted to, to try to share with the people and humans what I was understanding that was happening out there, that most of the times it's not shown to us in the way that they are, having or happening. Like Cocos Island was this moment in life when you decide what you're gonna do the rest of your life. And I can say that it's a mix like in having like an infatuation, having the pain that you have when you are infatuated and you are afraid of losing this something that keeps you alive. And it was from there that my connection with the ocean started to be deep. Of course, I mean, I grew up near to the ocean and I've been seeing the ocean since I'm 1 year old, but it was only with more or less 26 years old when I really connected in a way that it's gonna be all my life probably in the ocean, for the ocean, and with the ocean.
Amazing. And so while you're there trying to do this incredible work, we have a global pandemic on our hands and things are getting locked down. Is that affecting you and your work at all right now?
Of course, it's affecting because, of course, we have a lot of restrictions to areas where we work, communities that we work with, and it didn't get that fast as in other places. It's just happening right now. I've been super lucky of actually spending the last 2 weeks exploring new spots and trying, to also fill Baja with no tourism, which is super positive because sometimes there's spots that are crowded and the charge on ecosystems and species, it's just not working. But right now the situation is changing and we are more limited on the access on some areas, and it makes sense for sure because there's so many like poor people or people with not that many resources that if actually they get sick, they will be in trouble. So it's affecting the projects, and it's affecting different research that we were in, and it's affecting, of course, the relationship that we normally have with some communities. But I think that on the other hand, it's a positive moment for all of us to stop, think, and then proceed with whatever it's happening. We really need to understand that we don't have life and nature for granted, and there's something, more powerful than us taking decisions. And I think that even I'm sad and I'm a little bit frustrated, to be honest, not to be able to be everywhere I would love to be. I hate not having freedom. I think we need to think positive and just give it some time, and it's gonna be good also for all of us to miss things sometimes, no? So I believe also the fishermen and the communities we're working will also rethink on where is these people, why we cannot see each other, because they probably live in this situation in a very different perspective than us. We have more connection to medias, to news, and stuff like that. And I even have like my family in Europe, so the information I'm getting every day, it's probably so different than the info that they have. But on the other hand, we're still doing things. That doesn't mean that we stop. Conservation doesn't stop for us, and we work every day in order, first of all, to inspire people, get people, informed and educated. We've been doing different webinars, and we are going to do a bunch of new things this week with different ambassadors that we have. So our current campaigns are going to still are going to be alive in a way. The only thing is that feel calm. It was a very important moment for us because mobile aggregations, that is the one type of elasmobranch, is starting to arrive to Baja. Well, we really don't know if they leave Baja at some point, but they just aggregate and congregate in big numbers, very close to shorelines and coastlines during this time of the year. And with that event, also orcas come and feed movulas. So it's an amazing, beautiful season, both for research and for interactions that are really amazing, and to learn more about spots and to learn more about the food chain in the ocean. And we were about to start different experiences with Nakawe experiences, where we hired the fishermen that actually fish the movulas in order to go out with us, not fish the movulas, but inspire humans to learn more about these species, why they are important, where do they live, how do they behave, what type of ecosystem they are looking for, why they aggregate like this, and hopefully seeing the orcas feeding on them. And this is not going to be able to happen. Like tourism, it's completely shut down. All commercial operations are not allowed to work. And more than that, ports are starting to close everywhere. Like from little to big ports everything's stopped. So actually the only way to go out and understand what's happening is to take a kayak, that I love so much, because of course it's a way to have very low impact doing a low impact activity in the ocean and just being there and being able to interact with the animals, and the other hand being super fit. But it makes everything more difficult. And of course, probably we are missing a lot of data information that should be, analyzed in the future. And we wrote a letter for the authorities asking them to give us a permit to monitor different areas, to analyze the positive impact of not having that much tourism in some areas, because even Baja, it's a very pristine and remote place and still not exploded as we could imagine that it's happening in other places like Cancun. Mm-hmm. There's 2 or 3 spots where in this season for the spring break, it gets crazy. So I'm really happy. Sorry for this. I'm really happy that this coronavirus or COVID-19 happened exactly when this type of tourism, that it's not the tourism that I'm looking for personally. I'm looking for someone that wants to come to Baja to experience it, to learn from it, to feel it, not just to go party and get crazy and just, throw all cans or glasses of drinks in the beaches and just like arriving to Baja to get drunk or high and then leave, this is not the place to do this. This should be a place only to inspire humans to learn more about nature. So I'm really happy that COVID-19 happened exactly in the spring break season, because I think that Baja is really like giving thanks for a break at least 1 year for this type of tourism, to be very honest.
Yeah, I mean, it's tricky. Sometimes people would be like, that's COVID-19 so horrible. There's nothing good about that. I've had people saying that on my social media to me and stuff like that. And I'm like, well, if you only look at the negatives of every aspect in life, then you're just going to walk around negative and sad and frustrated. And, if you try to find the silver lining, and you're putting out such an amazing message, which is one of the main reasons why I wanted to talk to you about how Mother Nature is rejuvenating and everything. And spring break, I've been in Cancun spring break. I went there once. I lasted a half a day and I was like, get me out of here. It's just such a disconnection from nature. Everybody's there to just party and trash the place. And, and that's sort of what's happening in Barcelona. I mean, what Barcelona is like from when you grew up here, I guess, or in the area. And it's, when I got here last summer, I couldn't believe the way the tourists would come and trash the beach. And it's just, they have no respect for it, but they pay all this money to come and visit it. And they expect it to just be beautiful, but they don't treat it that way. And they treat, seagulls and pigeons as target practice instead of like as an animal, as another living thing. And so right now, I can see the sea from my flat and I would love to go and jump in and feel the salt water on my skin. But it also makes me smile because I don't see 5,000 people on the beach. And so, I guess it is quite good.
Like, imagine how positive is for our earth that everybody just stopped. Like, we didn't stop fully because people still, buying food that it's in packages and stuff like that, which is one of the biggest problems of plastic pollution. But I believe that the positive impact of the world shutting down almost at 80%, it's amazing. Like, we needed that. It was about to happen. Like, I was waiting for this moment to happen, and I don't think we should see it negative, even if it's not the most fun moment and it limited us a lot. It's the same way we are treating our oceans, our earth, and our species. Like, we are doing this every day for the last, I can say, 50 years of our lives in a very, like, crazy way, where most of our natural resources we're feeling like we are feeling right now, So I think it's a lesson for all of us, first of all, but it's more than anything, it's an opportunity to rethink how we are going to take the next, era or stage or age in a more sustainable and responsible and respectful way, thinking that what we are experiencing right now, that it's not having freedom, not being able to see our families, members maybe, or friends, not being able to go out there and live a social life because we are mammals and we need to be social. And all these things, this is what we do to animals. This is what we do to orcas. This is what we do to dolphins. This is what we do when we cut a tree and we just put it in our houses for Christmas. This is what we do all the time. This is how society is treating nature. So for the very first time, I think nature, or just like life, is treating us in a way where we are going to be able to learn a lesson, but more than anything, that we have this opportunity to change that course. And maybe this is a starting point to thrive with nature and not being a part of it, but part of it, and feeling that every single action we do every day affect one way or another to the rest of the planet. And the rest of the planet is our natural resources that are the ones that keep us alive and nature alive. So I think it's a good opportunity, and I think we need to see it positive, and I think we need to use this time to do things that we don't have time normally to do. That everybody's in a rush all the time, even myself. Like now I have time to finally read stuff that I was pending to read. I have time to edit photos that I didn't have time to edit, and inspire people to learn about, different species. I have time to read books. I have time just to be. There's days that I just play music and I be, So I think that's not that bad. It's like, take a break. We all needed it. We need it, and the earth needed it. So let's use it.
Yeah, for sure.
No?
I totally agree, and that's such a positive way to look at such a tough situation. I guess it's just the start for you guys over there, right? Like, you haven't been hit as hard as we have here in Europe at the moment, so things are just starting to close down.
So it kind of started like the 20th of March. That's the reason I came back. I was in the BVI, in the British Virgin Islands, with Team Sharkwater, doing a research expedition for trying to understand better how we can protect sharks in the Caribbean, and tagging some sharks there together with Mauricio Hoyos and Fins Attach, Randa Larao, different amazing, beautiful people. But we needed to come back earlier because we started to hear that borders are going to be closing for non-residents or non-nationals on the 18th of March. So then I needed to take a super random flight and get out of there, because I'm not Mexican, I'm Spanish. I have my temporary visa, and I can work and live in Mexico. But if they close the borders for non-nationals, then where I was about to go, Europe and Spain, was really looking bad, and this is the last place I want to be. Even my family's there. And then I needed to come back to Mexico. So I arrived at 18, and then from the 20, I start feeling, this a little bit panic, and places shutting down, and hotels and restaurants and stuff like that. But we didn't have any restrictions, really. We still don't have any mandatory restrictions. There's the recommendations. There's some spots that are just closing this last week, random public beaches and national parks and marine protected areas and stuff like that. But it's just starting this last week where you can actually feel I cannot go everywhere, But I believe it's very different, the situation, also because we are less humans in a very big, land area. So I believe my perspective of coronavirus or COVID-19 is completely different of many other places in the world. Even I try to be updated, and I try to read a little bit, not that much. I don't want to be just talking about it. And this is not our, everything, it's our reality right now. But I mean, my life is more than what is just happening right now. So for me, it's very important to understand, okay, this is our current situation, but the sun's still going out. Our Earth probably it's enjoying a lot this rest from us. And I mean, in Baja, I didn't feel I haven't seen crazy scenarios yet. I've seen some weird things, a lot of military out there, and going to the supermarket and seeing some areas wow, it seems like an hurricane pass here. But it's not. I'm used to this because every year we have hurricanes. So in hurricane season, people also get a little bit on panic because they actually had some really strong ones in the past. So it's just a normal, moment where people just get a little bit in panic. And the most important thing for me is to try to understand if the government is really tracking what is going out there. Because for me, the non-access to some areas, it gets me stressed. Like, I want to know what's happening in the ocean. And the other day I just saw a random huge boat in a place I've never seen before, and I lost my drone 2 days before that, and I was like, man, I need my drone, I need to shoot this. What is this boat doing here? Where are the authorities, you know?
Yeah.
And then you call the authorities and they don't even reply because they're probably busy controlling all this COVID, whatever. But there's things that we cannot forget, that, man, like, there's still people fishing out there, and we need to control that anything illegal is happening. So this is what I'm more concerned about right now, more than anything else.
Right. Yeah. I guess like people taking advantage of the situation that's happening on a different scale all over the place.
I'm sure about it.
Yeah. Yeah. It's shocking. But, you know, like one thing, I've lived in pretty isolated places for the last decade or so before I moved here. And one thing that never fails to surprise me is how amazing the human spirit is, and the positivity that does come out of difficult situations. And one thing that I'm really hoping, much like you, is that people will take this time to reset, reevaluate the way they're living, and try to find a new connection with nature. You know, if you're locked inside for so long, maybe when you get outside, you'll appreciate it. You know, like you said, it's good to miss things, and they'll get outside, they'll appreciate it, and then they'll want to take care of it, you know? Yeah.
Yeah, I hope people will also want to know more about nature. Like, I believe like this lack of freedom will be a call to action for people to understand where I live. And where you live, it's not only the city or the neighborhood where you were born. Like, we are in a planet that is so perfect and full of lessons and full of amazing, beautiful things that are free most of the time. You know, I mean, free. Like, you need to take your kayak and go out there. You need to take your legs and walk and hike, or you need just to swim. But they are there for us. The thing is that if the people see this as the most positive way possible, it's going to be a call to action to be more sustainable, because most of the people is in panic right now. Like, what if this lasts like 8 months? Okay, then, you know, reevaluate if you can live 8 months without society happening as it was happening. That's a very strong and positive point to rethink how you are treating your life, how you are treating yourself, where are you taking your food resources, and so on. So people maybe will be more encouraged to have their own, you know, like garden where they can have their own vegetables, and where they can stop being like going to supermarket every week and get things in packages, and like get food that it's coming from the other side of the planet in order to feed you, you know, thousands of kilometers far away. So I think it's a good opportunity. I think it's a super amazing lesson for all of us, and it will refresh our souls and our home. Like, it's super amazing. The only thing is that we like, as humans, and we did this all our history, to dramatize, you know, like, we don't like when things happen out of our control. But, you know, like, guess what? This is nature. Like, don't take it for granted. Life and the universe is way, you know, more powerful than humans are. We are not the smartest species. We are just one of a lot of millions of species in this planet, and we don't decide what's going on. But I think that from here, people will be more inspired to go to nature, understand it more, you know, understand how it works, so they can be part of it finally. And yeah, I'm super positive, and of course I had my ups and downs, most of all because the situation in Europe and in Spain in concrete, with my family, and because I cannot be there to support. But on the other hand, I'm like, no, like, I'm in the right place because I'm inspiring them every day with, you know, natural events I see here, and they know I'm safe and sound and happy. So I believe like I'm here for a reason. Like, it was just not randomly chosen by the universe to be in Baja. Like, I'm here to be able to inspire people. I'm here to be able to share nature with my, you know, community, and also to be at some point maybe even the controller of what's going on if illegal things are happening. So I think we all need to think in a positive way, and attitude is super important. If people start to get depressed and sad and you know, and block, we are not going to be able to see this as an amazing opportunity, but, you know, like, we will take the easy path that it's just like giving up. But
Yeah.
I'm not going to do this.
No, and that's good. And I mean, I think that's something that a lot of people need to hear. So hopefully, I think people will come away with a lot of positivity and a lot of great insight from this. So
I hope so.
yeah, thanks very much. If you guys aren't following Regi and the Nakawe project already, you should. But yeah, doing amazing stuff, and hopefully we get a chance to talk again. But yeah, thanks a lot for coming to chat with us today. I know you have to get going because you've got something else going on. But yeah, thanks a lot, and stay safe.
Muchas gracias igual, and stay positive and use this time for the best.
All right, cheers.